Boris Johnson received the Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban this week, a foreign policy decision that, given Hungary's poor human rights record, led to great criticism of Johnson. He then tried to make up for this by condemning Orban's queer and Islamophobic statements and actions. However, the meeting raised new questions about the direction in which the ex-EU member is heading in the future. Johnson's decision to meet with Orban has sparked criticism and concern among the British opposition and human rights activists. Budapest Pride wrote an open letter calling on the community and their allies to urge the Prime Minister to challenge Orban. Johnson should be publicly asked if he brought up the oppression of Hungarian LGBT people during the meeting. If not, he should be asked not to post celebratory tweets about Pride Month on his social media, the association said. Boris Johnson needs to be reminded that he cannot celebrate Pride Month while also making friends with the most homophobic leaders in Europe. Downing Street defended the invitation again in the face of criticism in the run-up to the meeting. When asked about the state visit on Thursday, a Johnson spokesman replied that negotiations with the right-wing autocrat were critical to the prosperity and security of the UK. It also said the talks were meant to advance Britain's interests in the region. While Johnson's ministers defended him and said it was the right step to build new relationships after Brexit, there was heavy criticism from the Labour Party. MEPs accused the government of betraying values that they had promised to protect through a close association with Orban. The timing is also controversial. Since Brexit, Orban is only the second head of government to be received by Johnson. And of all people, who is repeatedly criticized by the EU? The human rights record of the Hungarian head of government is bad. In view of right-wing populist propaganda against queer people, which ended in a real smear campaign, as well as various laws that deny LGBT their human rights, more and more queer citizens are leaving the country. A wave of discriminatory, homophobic and transphobic new laws initiated by Orban and his right-wing populist party Fidesz has resulted in transgender and intersex people being legally wiped out, same-sex adoptions prohibited, and the constitution being amended so that a mother is now considered female and one father is defined as male. In addition, the Hungarian head of government has repeatedly attracted attention in the past with his anti-Islam and anti-refugee statements. For example, he described migrants as poison and spoke of Muslim invasions. Downing Street promised in advance that the Prime Minister would not hesitate to discuss human rights issues with the Hungarian Prime Minister. When it comes to all human rights issues, we don't shy away from addressing them, they say. The Prime Minister has condemned these specific comments, which were divisive and wrong. Yeah, that's what they say, and you see what they do. After the meeting on Friday, his spokesman proudly announced, yes, Johnson has really expressed considerable concern about the human rights situation in Hungary. Among other things, he addressed LGBT rights and equality between women and men. Freedom of the press and various foreign policy issues were also discussed. To what extent this happened is not known. However, the two do not seem to have found any major discrepancies. The two are said to have discussed a stronger cooperation between the countries. In July, Hungary takes over the management of the Central and Eastern European Visegrad Group, which also includes Poland, the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Johnson announced he looks forward to working more closely with the group in the future. And if you want to stay informed, please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in my next video. Auf Wiedersehen.